The video.
Hello.
We're just waiting for the video to start first.
Okay, you can start.
Perfect, thank you. All right, hello everyone. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. I'm glad to see a few more people joining us today. It's been a bit lonely over here the last few weeks, so nice to see a few more people. All right, for our class today for equipment, I'm going to be using a dowel for a portion of the class for our cardio section. So if you have maybe a cane, maybe even like a belt or some sort of a strapping towel that could space your hands apart a little bit, that will work. If you don't have that, you can still do the actions without the dowel. And then I'll be using a single hand weight for the resistance portion. So maybe something like a soup can or a water bottle if you don't have a hand weight. And certainly you can do range of motion if that is your preference for today. So with that in mind, and a water bottle, I have one of those handy too. With that in mind, we need none of that equipment when we first start here. So I'll let you guys just collect things a little bit. And we'll get going. Perfect, yes. All right, so we are going to start comfortably seated in our chair and maybe eyes closed. Eyes closed is always optional. If you're comfortable doing that, go right ahead and just take a few moments to focus on your breathing, where every breath in brings the crown of your head a little closer to the ceiling, and every breath out just has a nice even release. So releasing some tension and getting ready to focus on movement today. So breath in, crown of your head stretches closer to the ceiling. Breath out to release. Good. We'll do 2 more breaths like that. And 1. And then we're going to turn our focus to our belly and imagine that every breath in can fill our belly up like a balloon with air. And every breath out, our core muscles can contract and squeeze out every last drop of air. So breath in, your belly fills with air. Breath out, belly button squeezes towards backbone. Good. So you might feel like your low back sinks a little bit closer to your chair back. We'll do a few more there. Good. We'll do 1 more breath in and out like that. And then you can bring your eyes to open and your hands to your lap. And we'll start to move through our shoulder blades by pressing our shoulders back and then down and around. So I'm not so concerned about the squeezing our shoulders up towards our ears, because we don't really want that to happen in class today anyway. So back, down, and around. Back, down, and around. So your shoulder blades are squeezing closer to each other, setting down in position, and then your shoulders are coming around to reset that process. Good. While you're doing this, maybe your arms are going to start to move out to the side and just a kind of a natural circle. Okay, we'll do 2 more there. And last one. All right, and then hands can just be at your sides or on your lap as we move through a little more neck warm up here. So ear to shoulder, back to center, and to the other side. If there's a spot that feels like it needs a little extra attention, you can always give a little pause or just moving through some natural range here. Last one each way. Good, head comes back to neutral. We will do some shoulder checks next. So looking over one shoulder, back to center and over the other. Being aware for now that our shoulders themselves are facing forward. We're going to add a little bit of rotation to our movements in a moment. Good, so we'll do 2. And last one. And then we're going to take both hands to one side of your lap. Doesn't matter which one, we'll even you out in a moment. For now, putting a little gentle pressure on that outer thigh as you gently rotate towards that side and back to center. So just again, moving through some range, rotating side to center. And then adding back in your shoulder check if you like. So checking over that shoulder, looking a little farther back. Good, we'll do one more on this side. We'll switch it up. All right, so resetting in your chair, hips nice and evenly weighted. Hands are on the opposite thigh as you rotate side to center. Just be really kind to how this feels as you start to warm up. Kind to your body. And then adding in that shoulder check if you like. Good, last one here. Excellent, back to center. Coming back to our center point with hands on our lap for support to start with, depending on your level of core control, you will either be doing some forward hinges here with support, or if hinging is not easy for you and instead you want to press back into your chair back and come forward, we are just getting some core contractions, some core muscles ready to work here and maintaining our nice long spine as we do so. So let's go at 3, 2, and 1. Great. All right, starting to add in some bigger arm movements. Let's go 1 bicep curl, 1 tricep press. So one arm is pressing back, one is coming forward. So not only are we going to warm up muscles now, but of course get the heart rate up just a little bit, ready for a bit of cardio coming up here shortly with some paddling exercises today. Great. From here, we're going to start doing long arm reaches forward to back. Make them as wide as you need to clear the arms of your chair. And then the arm that's coming to the top might pause at the top and reach for your same side shoulder, getting a little bit of a stretch and warm up through the tricep here. Good, last one each way here. All right, bring your arms back down, set those shoulders in place. Now we are going to go both arms forward to open up diagonally and close. So getting a little bit of chest stretch. We're going to stay on one side and just see whatever arm is your top arm right now, leave it at that for now. Great. Option of a few with rotation. So top arm is the side that you are rotating towards if you choose to do so, or keep facing forward, no rotation. Good, last 2. And 1. Great, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So set those shoulders, arms come to the front, opening one arm up, one arm back, and then adding in rotation if you wish towards that upper arm. Great, we'll do last 3. And 2. And last one here. All right, our last piece of warm up will be push and pull. So both hands are up to press away from you and then grab onto an imaginary object and pull it back in. So press and pull. If you would like to add a little bit of hinging, feel free to hinge and reach a little bit farther before you grab onto the imaginary thing and pull it back in towards you. Great. We'll do last 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. We are ready to grab our broomstick, cane, dowel, whatever you might have handy. Umbrellas. I've seen people use umbrellas as well. And we are going to start to get our heart rate up just a little bit. So for our first little bit, we are going to do some nice, easy kayak paddle. We're going to tune into a few different things while we do this. Great. Okay, so during our warm-up, we did some shoulder circles where I had said we weren't so concerned with the upward movement of our shoulders, but more the back and down. So if you can kind of tune into how that felt, and then set your shoulder blades back and down for the duration of this paddling. We have a little bit more power through our arms that way, and we're set in nice posture. Great, so we'll start to vary this paddling sequence here right away with some different counts and some different lengths of our paddles. So we'll do just a little bit more like this, and then we'll change that. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. So this will be a little bit different for everyone based on the type of chair you are in today. We're going to do a close knee paddle. If this does not work for you because the arms of your chair or the base of your chair is in the way, make it as wide as you need to so you don't feel like this is a restrictive move. But we're trying to get just a small move so that we can start to pick up the pace. So it's almost like, depending on the space around you, that you're bumping your knee with the paddle as you go past. Nice close move. Great. And then let's go to a really wide side to side paddle, like you're drawing a giant sideways figure 8. Good. Go back to those closer paddles. Nice and quick. And we're going to start to count this out in 4s. So we're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close paddle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide paddle for 4. Close paddle for 4. And wide. Great. Working at your own pace. Close paddle for 4. And wide for 4. Keep going. We'll do this 3 more times through. Close paddle for 4. And wide for 4. 2 more. And last time here. and wide. Great. All right, set those shoulders. We are ready to do some forward circles. So if you can kind of think of spinning a wheel, we're going to move the dowel in a forward circle. And you have some choices here. So it can be a forward circle where you are tall in your seat the whole time, or you can start to use a little bit of core contraction, long spine to bring you forward. Make sure as that rotation comes forward that your shoulders are still back and down. Great, so we'll do 3, 2, and 1, and then we're going to change direction, going back the other way. Great, keep going a few more here. 3, 2, and 1, going forward again. One more set through of each. Forward roll. For 3, 2, and 1, and then reversing. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, we're going to keep going with that same, with some more paddling. I do need a drink of water, so if you do too, go ahead and we will continue. All right, so we're going back to just a nice, easy paddle. And we're going to change up the count again here. So certainly you're welcome to always move at your own pace. So if you would like to move faster or slower than what I'm doing right now, please feel free. And from here, we're going to go back to kind of our counts of 4, but changing it up a little bit. So it will be 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to do 2 paddles on one side and 2 on the other. So 4 even side-to-side paddles, and then a double on one side and a double on the other. Good, 2 on one, 2 on the other. I'm going to bring this pattern back a few times in the next few moments as we change things up a little bit. Great, so paddle forward for 4 and then double it up, 2 per side. Few more like that. Let's do 2 more. And last one coming up here. Good. We're going to make these paddles single side to side, and we're going to start to side flex just a little bit. So not so much a kayak paddle now, but like you're trying to reach with a long paddle before you set it in the water and push. So we have a little bit of side flex. We're still keeping hips nice and even on our chair. So we're not side flexing so much that we're weighted more on one hip than the other. Great. So we're going to add this little side flex paddle into our count, but we're not going to double it up. So that will make sense in a minute here. Let's do 2 more per side. So last one coming up here. Good. We're going to go back to our regular kayak paddle for 4. So we're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. And then because our side flexes take longer, we're just going to do 1 per side because it's a big move. So go back and paddle 4, 3, 2, 1, side flex and reach, 1 on each side. Paddle quick for 4, Side flex and reach for 2. Paddle quick for 4. Side flex. Great. We'll do a few more of these, and then we'll change it up again. Okay, do 2 more. 2 more times through. And last one. Great. Come back to center, set your shoulders. Arms are up so that the dowel is at about chest level. We're going to do some upward presses. So press up and down. Great. We'll do 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to try to put that back into the paddle. We'll see in a sec if it feels fluid or not, but we're going to go 4 paddles, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to do 2 overhead presses, 1 and 2. Paddle for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 and 2. 4 paddles, 2 presses. Great. 4 paddles, 2 presses. Keep going. Two more times. And last time here. Great. Instead of an upward press, we're going to do a front press now. So push forward and back. We are almost done our cardio section. So if you are ready for a change, it's coming soon. Great. So we'll do 3, 2, and 1. We're going to try to put that into our sequence as well. So 4 paddles, 2 forward presses, 4 paddles. Your forward press could be with a hinge, so you can reach and press. Forward press for 2, paddle for 4. Okay, a few more here. We'll do it 2 more times through. And last time. Great, go back to just your regular paddle. I have one more in this same patterning. So in order to set up for this one, we were doing our side flex with our reach to the side of the paddle. Now it will be a forward reach. So we're going to set up to do that in a moment with maybe a little bit of rotation. So it will look like this. You will either go forward, 1 per side, staying upright in your chair, or you might hinge with a small rotation as that paddle dips into the water and pulls past your hip. Great. So we are going to put this into our counting sequence in just a minute. We're going to do 1 more per side like this. And then we're going to do our 4 paddles, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 forward reaching paddle per side. Okay, so that's 4 paddles close, and then a reaching forward paddle for 2. Hinge and rotation are both optional. Good, keep going a few more. This is our last cardio sequence here for today. Let's do 2 more. And last time. Great. All right, we are all done with our dowel for today. Feel free to shake out your shoulders. Give me a few shoulder circles to the back. Take some nice big breaths in and out. And then maybe give yourself a big hug. Let your shoulder blades come away from each other and your shoulders come down away from your ears. And then we'll reset and do that one more time. Maybe the opposite arm will come on top. We'll of course do a proper stretch at the end of class, but just releasing a little bit before we get ready to do some resistance work for today. All right, I'm going to grab another drink of water and also my hand weight. So if you have something handy that you're going to use as a bit of extra resistance, you can grab that now. Guys. All right, so the first exercise I have for you today, actually, I will say this first. We do have a bit of overhead weight work that I have for you today. So if you're in a manual chair, make sure that the wheels are locked. And if you do not have anti-tip on your chair, then perhaps position yourself against a wall for safety. The first thing that we're going to do today is a variation of the wood chopper. So our weight's actually going to be in both hands. Shoulders are going to be set and in position, and we're going to have 2 different options on this exercise. So we will all start together in the same place, and then for the second round, we might choose to have some different variations. So shoulders are set back and down. The weight is going to be hovering just above your knee. So you have arms crossed body. And we're going to go from knee or like mid-thigh up to past your ear and well away from your ear as we go up to the side. So here's these same muscles that hold your shoulder blade down and in position, needing to work here as well as some shoulder muscles themselves in this exercise. Great. So from here, we also need our core muscles, in this case, to help stabilize us and keep us to center. And once we do our second set and add an option of rotation, we will need them there as well. So we're going to do 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. We will reset that to center and do the same on the other side. So shoulders are set back and down. The weight is held in both hands and is cross-body towards your knee or mid-thigh of your leg as you come up to your ear or past your ear down to your hip. Shoulders away from your ears. Elbows can stay with a slight bend the whole time. Good. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. All right. We are going to come back to that first side and do 8 more. If you've been to a few of my classes, you know, if I'm talking, I am not counting at the same time. So feel free to count out 8 for yourself and take a rest after that. But shoulders are set. The setup is the same for this one, more or less. So we're going back to our first side, but we have an option of adding a little bit more movement through our torso and therefore more core engagement as well. So you can stay upright and do the exercise as we were just doing it, or you can start to hinge and slightly rotate as you start the move, and then come upright and slightly rotate as you end the move. So we have that little bit of rotation both through the downward move and through the upward move. So we are going for 8 here. I will let you count that out on your own. Great, keeping those shoulders low. When you have done 8, give it a reset. So set your shoulders, maybe shake them out a few times. Shake out your neck if you need to, and decide how that felt and if you want to do it the same or back to the no rotation version on that other side. So it can be upright or it can be hinged and rotated to come down, upright and rotated to come up for 8. Great, keep going. Count it out. When you've done your last one, come on back to center, shake out your shoulders. We're going to do a little bit more shoulder work, and here's a bit more of the overhead that I promised you. So make sure you're set up in a safe position to do that. We are going to do an overhead press, but I'm going to make this kind of a 2-part press. So of course, mid shoulder is going to do the work when my arm is to the side and I'm extending my arm up to the ceiling. But on the way down, I want my lat muscles to squeeze and pull my elbow back down towards my side. So I want this to feel a little bit more like a 2-part exercise. So you're pressing up and then squeezing these muscles to the side of your shoulder blade to pull down. A little bit easier to do when we're not moving too fast through this one. So we have lots of control and lots of time to kind of help those muscles get a chance to engage. So mid shoulder press up, lat muscles pulling down. Great, we're gonna do 3 more for now. 2 and 1. Good, and then you will switch to the other side and do the same. If perhaps your shoulder muscles are feeling like a weight in hand with an overhead press is not a good idea today, welcome to move through range of motion with no weight. We still get lots of benefit from that, moving the joint through its range, and we can still get some muscle engagement while we do that as well. So that's certainly an option. Shoulder is set, using mid shoulder muscles to press that weight up, and then side muscles to pull it back down. Reach up, squeeze and pull down. Great, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So I have a second variation of this exercise as well. And I think we'll actually try it together as a little test run without a weight in hand. So if you have somewhere to set it down, or maybe just in your hip crease to keep it out of the way for a moment, so it's not going to fall. Shoulders are set. If you have arms to your chair, you might want to hold on with the non-working side, just for a little bit of support as we test this one out. So it's pretty much the same exercise, but we're adding a little bit of side flexion while we're overhead. So we need to make sure that we have the control to do that. So maybe you're holding on to the arm of your chair. You could also hold on to the base of your chair if you like. Shoulders set. So we'll get set up in the same position. This time we're going to reach up and do a small side flex. And then pull down not only with our lat muscles, but also with our obliques, our side core. So give me 1 more without weight in hand there. Reach and pull down. And then you can make a judgment call for yourself, whether that's a good thing now to put a weight in hand or whether you would prefer to do this exercise without. Both are totally fine options. So I think this one is a bit of a bigger move. We are going to only do 6 of these, okay? So make it slow and kind of thoughtful as you move. The flex is optional. Squeeze and pull down, engage through those side muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. All right, so let's switch to the same side, and we will do it the same way just because side to side, we know there are some differences, just to make sure that it feels okay for you without weight in hand first. So that second side, we're going to do the same thing. Press up, side flex, holding onto your chair with the free hand for a bit of support if you need it. And then decide from there if you want to put that weight back in hand. We are getting ready to do 6 of them. Shoulders set, arm is up and ready, side flex, squeeze and pull down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. All right, we are almost done our resistance portion for today. We've used a lot of front and mid shoulder muscles, as well as, of course, some core and side back muscles as well. I'd like to use our rear shoulder muscles now, and those work best when we press back with a long arm. So what we're going to do is stay up tall for the first few, and I'll give you an option that we'll kind of just roll right into if you like, with a bit of a hinge. But for now, long arm press back with a bit of a diagonal reach. So we're keeping our shoulder low. If you've had a rotator cuff injury in the past, this one probably has a bit of restriction in your range. So do be kind to your muscles and listen if your shoulder's telling you that you are going too far. Great. So we're just going to keep going with this exercise. If you need to set the weight down and just do range, go ahead. If you would like to hinge and do another 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Great. So we just kind of put the 2 variations into one in this exercise, just in an effort to save a little bit of time. We're going to do the same on the other side. So stay nice and upright for the first few, and then feel free to hinge if you like, pressing back, being aware that this side may feel different than the others. So just check in with your shoulder and see how it feels through this range. And then if you like the hinge, we will hold that hinge and press. So holding yourself in a forward hinge position as that arm presses back. For 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay. I have, well, we'll see what time brings us. 1 or 2 more exercises for you. So because we've worked so much on shoulder today, I don't want to forget our rotator cuffs specifically. So let's work them just briefly here. Weight is in hand, palm is facing up, and elbow is tucked in at your side. So for this one, we're working through, again, just a conscious, comfortable range of motion where the weight starts cross body and then rotates to come off to the side. So we're rotating through our shoulder joint to bring that weight from a cross body to a farther position away from us to the side. Great, and moving slow enough that we can really be aware of where that end point is and that we don't let that weight carry our arm a little farther than it wants to go on its own. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to sneak in a few more on this side. So you're going to go to near the end range, out to the side, and halfway back. We're just going to do this 6 times. Little pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We are done with that side rotator cuff. We're going to do the same on the other. So shoulders are set. Elbow is glued to your side. Weight starts cross body. And then your elbow stays glued as you come out to the side, back in crossbody. Okay, we'll do 4 more like this. 3, 2, and 1. And then come back out to your outer end range, halfway back in, and we'll pulse here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. Okay, yes, let me leave lots of time for stretching. So we are going to set the weight down. I'm going to grab another drink of water. Feel free if you need one, and we will get ready to stretch. All right, so we will start with hands up at about chest level to open wide. Take a big breath in, and then meet your hands back to center. So open wide, breath in, exhale, bring it back to center. We'll do 2 more there. And last one. Great. From here, we're going to set our shoulders low and press back, starting at that same place, but now pressing diagonally back behind us. So getting a little bit more bicep and in through front shoulder here. Just a little bit different feeling for the stretch. We'll do 2 more there. The next time you press back, just stay there for a moment. So press back. And now rotate your thumbs to point in towards each other. Maybe you press a little further and then rotate them back out. We'll do that one more time. Thumbs rotate in, maybe your hands press back a little further and then return back to center again. All right, for our next exercise, you will either have your hands on your hips if that feels more comfortable for you, or the backs of your hands slid into your imaginary back pockets. So we need to be somewhere where we can kind of press our elbows back without the chair back getting in our way for this stretch. So if that means hands on hips where you have a little bit more motion, that's fine. Shoulders are set, elbows are going to pull back, and you're thinking about extending through your spine and then expanding through your chest with some nice big breaths in and out. So we aren't looking to change the curvature of our low back with this stretch. What we're doing is just getting a nice opening through our chest and front shoulders. Right, you can bring your elbows just back to kind of rest and flop to your sides just to reset the stretch. We're going to do it one more time with a couple of other options. So your elbows will press back again. This time, to give you a little bit more stretch, you might press your hands into your rear or into your pelvic bone as they're touching there. So a little bit of kind of resistance to add to the stretch. And then maybe while you do this, you will look down towards your lap and get a little bit of rear neck stretch. You might move your head side to side or up and down, whatever feels good for you. And then you'll bring your head back to neutral and unwind your arms. Great. From here, we're going to give ourselves a hug. So crossing your arms in front, elbows are low and shoulders are low. So if you need to reset this one, we do have a tendency to kind of squeeze up. So I'd like your elbows and shoulders to stay low for this one. But elbows are going to start to pull forward a little bit. So if you can think about, and it doesn't need to be a big move, but if you think about your elbows pulling forward to give you extra space between your 2 shoulder blades. So just that little extra feeling of stretch. And then from here, we're staying nice and upright for this stretch. And you're thinking about every breath in, expanding through that space we've created between our 2 shoulder blades. And every breath out, being a nice even exhale that still keeps our nice tall posture that we have going on here right now. Yeah, so a few more here. Breath in and out. And again. Great. We're going to unwind our arms and then rewind them the same way, perhaps the other arm on top. Shoulders are low, elbows are low. And from here, we're still getting a little bit of stretch through rear shoulders and back. And we'll also add a neck stretch so you can drop your ear singular towards one shoulder. And take a few breaths in and out while you're here. And then bring your head back to neutral and drop your ear to the other shoulder, towards the other shoulder. Taking some nice even breaths in and out here as well. Good, come on, and bring your head back to neutral, unwind those arms. We're going to do a little bit of forearm stretch next. So shoulders are low, hands are going to reach out, and fingers are either going to interlace or one palm over top of the other, whichever is more comfortable for you. Flip your sandwich so that one side is facing up, and then pull the knuckles of the top hand down. So what we're getting is a stretch through our front forearm with this little bit of gentle pressure through the back of your hand. And this stretch works best if you have a straight elbow as opposed to a bent elbow. We don't get quite as much stretch when our elbow is bent. Good, you can ease out of that stretch and flip over the sandwich. So the opposite arm is on top, and then gentle pressure through the back of that hand. Of course, this works too if you have fist over fist instead of interlaced fingers as well. All right, and then ease your way out of that one. Hands can be on your lap. Depending on your core stability, you will either do some chair press backs with some nice even breaths in and out, or some forward hinges now. So hands on your lap for support, nice and tall to begin, and then hinging forward if that is appropriate for you today. Maybe staying here for a few moments where your belly is, perhaps resting in your lap so that you feel a bit supported for this stretch. And hands are there for support as well. Just looking for a little bit of low back release here. We'll come back up nice and slow and set up to do that one more time. So starting in a tall posture, hands are supporting as you hinge forward, or if hinging is not an option, as you press back tall into your chair back. And then thinking about kind of as we did at the beginning of class, where every breath in brings your head forward, the crown of your head, and your tailbone stretches back. So we're really lengthening through the spine. And then come back up tall here. Great, we'll finish class with a short breathing exercise, which is a lot like what we did at the beginning. So you can be back in your chair in a comfortable seat for this one. Hands can be to your belly if you like, for a little bit of extra feedback, and eyes can be closed if you prefer. From here, we're just going to focus on our breathing. So again, to that big belly breath where you feel like every breath in fills up your belly like a balloon, and every breath out uses those core muscles that we used through class today to really squeeze all the air out. So nice even breaths in and out. we often don't take even breaths in and out throughout our day when we're not consciously thinking about it. So this is just a moment to kind of appreciate how it feels to take nice, big, even breaths in and out, and use a little bit of core muscles to help do that as well. Yeah, so we'll take 3 more nice, even breaths in and out with our eyes closed. And when you're finished that, you can get ready for our 3 big breaths in and out, as I always end class. And I will be here for a few minutes after class. So if you have any questions or would like to chat, I am happy to chat with you. So starting down low, big breath in, reaching for the ceiling, and release. We'll do 2 more there. And last one. Great. Thanks for joining me today. Like I said, stick around if you want to chat for a minute.
Hi, Julie. This is Carol. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Carol.
Hi, I'm new, but I just wanted to say thank you for a great session. I'm legally blind, so I don't have the chair, but I have some balance issues, and so I really appreciated your class, and I hope to be back.
Great. Thanks, Carol. I hope to see you back. Was my verbal descriptions helpful enough for you? Did you?
Yeah, well, every once in a while I had to wait and kind of lean in to work out what you're doing. I have some sight, so that was fine. But I mean, it is true that the description is so critical, and
yes,
for the most part, it was really good.
Great. Well, I'm glad you came. I hope to see you again really soon. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And Carla, I don't think I've seen you before either.
No, I'm brand new too. And yeah, I have lumbar spinal stenosis, so I can't stand or walk for any length of time. I also have a complete tear of the rotator cuff on this shoulder and a partial on this shoulder. So
those rotator cuffs, they are just not built strong enough, are they?
No, they are not. But you have to keep moving them and do the best you can, right? And
yes, for sure. Yeah. And I find, especially with rotator cuff injuries, once they're rehabbed enough that they're not painful all the time, that you just need to really check in with your posture, that the moves that you're doing are because your shoulder is moving and not because you're shrugging at the trapezius muscles, right? So yeah, it's important to keep those shoulders back and down because the rest of your body really wants to help, but you get so sore and tight through your neck too, right? Yes. Oh, you got good movement there. Yeah,
I do. I have good range of motion, but as long as the movements are slow and sustained, if it gets to be really fast movement or lots and lots of repetition, that's when it causes issues. But I thought your class was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And it made me work hard, that's for sure. So that's a good thing.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I'm always happy to have people pace themselves accordingly too. So don't feel like you have to be doing exactly the same tempo as me or anything too. So
yeah.
Great. Well, thank you. It's nice to see some new faces today. I appreciate it. And oh, thanks, Gordon. I see your message. Yeah. All right.
And
yeah, thanks very much, everyone. And I will see you again next week, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Take care.
You guys next
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye.